Happy Tuesday, friends. I'm so happy that you are here. Our final challenge for May. I can't believe it's here already. It's arrived. We've been working hard weekly, almost thinking about a spring cleaning, if you will, of our brands this month. And today is no different. Today's going to kind of cap off our strategy to recap what we've done. We've built your brand board, which works perfectly with brand kits. We've talked about brand photography. What I want to talk a little bit about today is once we have these pieces built for our brand, where do we go next? How do we reach out to clients, right? By show of hands, virtually, if you're hanging out with us live or watching the replay, let us know in the comments. Could you use more clients right about now? Or does the idea of reaching out to clients, new and old, give you anxiety as a freelancer of many, many years? I feel you there. So today I'm going to give you specifics, all from Adobe Express, on how to tackle this, what I'm calling reach out and reconnect. The link in the description goes to my remixable template, which will bring you nicely into Adobe Express to get started on this strategy for yourself. Reach out and reconnect. The first thing that I want to, let's say hi, Voodoo Val. The first thing, the seed I want to plant is what I say here. The easiest sale is to someone who already knows, likes, and trusts you. Okay? And in 15 years of business, owning a branding agency, working with over 400 clients, I feel like I've learned this lesson. Um, you know, Sometimes we think, gosh, I need more clients. I need to get out there. I need to post more on social media. I need to post more on LinkedIn, don't I? Well, let me remind you that you probably already have at least a handful of clients under your belt. These are people that know, like, and trust you and probably need something more from you. And so part of this idea of reaching out, reconnecting, even if it's not with a transaction in mind, this is going to keep you top of mind with your ideal audience. Okay. And so it's not such a bad thing to reach out to clients, even if it's like just to say hello. Maybe you finished up a project 6 months ago, a year ago. I just had a few of these calls this morning, actually. And chances are, if you go in just purely curious about what your client is up to, how things are going, that client might say to you, hey, I really need some help on this. For example, one of my clients needs more colors for her brand to expand her toolkit. So this little template I'm really proud of. How you're going to use this template, which again, linked in the description below, is going to give you some direction on how to rekindle these relationships with clients, collaborators, and specifically, one of the features I'm going to demo today that I have not demoed before on a live is bulk create is one of my favorites, but it's best shown with an example in a use case. So that's what we're going to tackle. Okay. So let's start. We'll get demoing here in a moment, but let's start. And by show of comments in the chat, let me know. Could you guys use a few more freelance clients? Could you use a few more projects this spring, this summer? Let me know. I think the strategy that we're going to go over right now is going to be useful for you. So the first, when we look at the different kind of outreach types, the first is emotional reconnect. That's what I'm calling. A great way to go about this one is gratitude. Say thank you. Acknowledge your client's support or trust or past collaboration. So here's an example. I give you a little prompt. You can, by the way, this is totally editable. Once you pop this into Express, you can add your own. But something like working with you on this project, on building your brand identity, is still one of my favorite memories of 2024, 2025. Something that shows you appreciate them. Okay. So that's one way of reconnecting, reach out and reconnecting. Earlier this month, some of the other challenges, we worked really hard on making sure you had all the building blocks, making sure you had your brand kit ready to go. And so this is kind of this final step to go, okay, I've got my brand ready. I'm ready to strike. I'm ready to take on some new clients and projects. Okay. Number two. So first is the emotional reconnect. Number two, value add, or what I would call a re-engagement. This is where you offer something helpful, like a blog post, freebie, free service, or rather a new service, not free, a new service. And I'm going to give an example for this in a moment. I'm in the position with my business right now where I've got a new service called a website power hour, where I am quite busy as a business owner and as a content creator these days, but my team perfectly positioned to get on a call with our old clients and say, hey, let's take an hour to update your website. Tell me what your priorities are, your little list of to-dos, and we'll get it done in 60 minutes. This is a service that I want to offer because for me, it doesn't require any of my time or attention. And so that's something you're going to see I use Bulk Create to let my clients know about this. So here's an example. I just published a quick guide I think you're going to enjoy. Here is my guide to, updating your website in 2025. And this could be a remixable template in Express. You've got web pages in Express. You've got presentations. You've got so many things that you can use and create in this platform. But that's, again, just an example and a prompt. Voodoo Val says, yep, Phil, I could use some more clients. Glad to hear it. That's what we're going to tackle today, honey. And I'm going to click to live chat so I can see everyone else. Great. I'm so happy you're here. We have so many amazing creatives that are illustrating things. When I do challenges or when I hop on here, I try to approach this from a business standpoint. What resources can I give you to help you grow your business? Today's no exception. Number 3 here is just checking in, or what we would call a friendly ping. Keep it casual, say hi, ask how your clients are doing, and leave the door open to whatever that can be. Of course, when I hop on a call with a client, I hope it leads to a project, but I don't make the interaction contingent on that. If that makes sense, I genuinely hop on a call with a client and figure out how can I help them in the time that we have, give them some ideas, give them some value so that it reminds them the important role that I could play in that business relationship that we have. So an example of this, no agenda, just wanted to say hi and see what you've been up to. So many of these client interactions can be so useful for you. In other ways that you want to pitch other clients, new services you offer. Again, reminder, we tend to focus on all those clients out there that we don't have yet. And so much of the path of lesser resistance here is pausing for a moment and going, who do I already have in my orbit, my day-to-day, that know, like, and trust me and might be willing to re-engage me? I would say 90% of my projects right now are re-engagements, old clients coming back, updating their brands, updating their websites, getting input on their social media strategy. Those are a few examples of the types of things that we're working on. Penny says, Penny's here. Hey, Penny. This Voodoo Val, I'm talking too fast, says this challenge could not come at a more perfect time. I'm so happy, honey. So those are the 3. Let's quickly just review before we get bulk creating. Emotional reconnect, okay, is number 1. Value add. Hey, I saw this article and it reminded me of you. Hey, I just created my 100 evergreen content ideas. I wanted to send it to you for free. Let me know if you want to hop on a quick call and let's talk about some ideas for you. Number 3, just checking in. Hey, literally just sending you an email to say, hey, you popped into my mind. And I wonder, how was that project we worked on last year together? Did that ever get off the ground? Let me know if you want to catch up sometime in the near future. Okay. So three ways to re-engage. Now, we're going to get designing because that's what we do on Adobe Live and specifically in Adobe Express. What I'm going to do is start by opening my brands tab. First thing we'll do is open my brand. Now I have like a cooking show and you kind of half cook something. I have half cooked this this little postcard. I'm going to put my logo up there. So I put just the kind of bare bones here. Just the bare bones here. This is a postcard that I want to send out to my existing clients. And so literally just plunked in some copy. This can change. We've got spell check turned on. If you don't, by the way, I love the fact that Express has spell check now. Did you notice that? You can turn it off if you want, if you don't want to see those red lines. In this case, don't really need it. So what I want to show you is bulk create. This is what we're going to create together. I'm going to finish designing this postcard, and then we're going to click up here, and we're going to drop in a CSV, which is like a spreadsheet in the most basic form. Okay, we're going to do that in a moment. For now, let's just add a few more design elements to this postcard. Friends, remember, we spend so much time designing digital collateral, but we can create print collateral in Express as well. I love this because I've got creatives that are working on client projects, mailers, business cards. Obviously, you can design these in Illustrator and InDesign, but we can also pass those project files over to Express, and that's the perfect way to hand these over to a client. In this case, we can add margins and bleed. Look at that, since we want to take this one to print. Literally just a click of a button right up there. And then if we want to get even fancier, we can print and deliver, which is an integration with Zazzle, very handy. So we can choose from all different kind of project types here. So in this case, I'm doing a postcard. So we can click through there, find it. But for now, I'm just going to focus on designing it. Okay, so those are my brand fonts. Let's pop in an image of me. We added the logo. Let's do something like this. I always find it helpful to save my brand photos. Like, yes, obviously you save your logos, your colors to your brand kit in Express, but also remember to save your brand photos. We talked so much about this month in our challenge. By the way, I recommend going back and watching the previous 3 challenges if you missed any of those. Because again, they all build on each other. We're kind of spring cleaning, getting our brands updated and ready for the world, for the summer. Friends, what are you doing this summer? Let me know. There we go. Okay, I want to add, this is looking good. I want to add maybe a shape. I am Phil Pallen, the king of shapes in Express. Let's make this transparent. That is too thick. Yeah, that looks good. And I'm just gonna pop this over here. My brand has lots of shapes, thin lines, etc. I'm just going to actually follow the margin there. That's going to look really good. I'm fairly pleased with how that is looking. It's got my web address here. Let me just move this, get rid of that placeholder. If you're new to Express, remember you can see all of your layers over here on the right-hand side. And this is looking pretty good. If I wanted to test it, I could download it, open it as a PDF. That's great. But the exciting part is that we are going to bulk create this. So this is an example of what I designed on the back. In this remixable template, I have a blank version for you. So like, this is obviously where the stamp will go. This is where the address will go. Pardon me. Because voice is cracking, because I already have the addresses in the bulk create in the CSV, I deleted those lines. Okay. This is so fun. So here we go. Bulk create. First thing you're going to do, let me do it again. First thing you're going to do is select this icon up in the top right. Bulk create. Next thing, we're going to drag and drop. We're going to open this folder, and it's going to be a CSV. Now, that's quite small for you to see, so let me scroll over so you can see it. This is what a CSV is. I know I've got a lot of creatives here, and you're like, don't talk spreadsheets to me. I get it. But this is the most basic form of spreadsheet. And the reason it matters is it's going to save you time, a lot of time. In Express, you can use bulk create to create up to 100 variations. In this case, these are our variations. Let's imagine that I want to customize the front of that postcard. Okay. Your what deserves what. Okay. Introducing website power hour. Join our call, hang up, and your updates are done. Sounds like a good service to me. But let's say I wanted to modify this. Your website deserves attention. Your brand deserves some love. Your portfolio deserves a refresh. Your content deserves an update. These are some variations that I could do based on the client that I'm targeting without having to go through other like fancy software targeting, etc. Right? I'm talking to you creatives and you small business owners. Something as simple as a spreadsheet like this with 4 variations. We've got here the name, the address, and then I even customize like their first name in place of their. I could leave it there if I didn't have that field. So I wanted you to just see this spreadsheet. See this spreadsheet. I always laugh when I look over to the chat. Yeah. Megan says, this happened on my last week of my agency job. I had to go through all the SOPs and update them. Such a mess. Oh my gosh. I know. I know you guys, you hate spreadsheets, but you're going to like them when you see how quickly they can save time for you. So once you upload the CSV, which I just did, now we have to go through and basically delete the fields that it's recognizing. All of these are different elements that I've saved on the canvas. Let's delete the ones that we're not going to personalize. Delete. Okay. This is not something that I need to use. However, website, yes. That's something I want to customize. And then attention. And notice here, I named the columns accordingly so that I could easily identify them here. Let's click next. So what just happened? Something very exciting. In 2 steps, we created 4 variations of my postcard. I'm happy with these. I'm going to click create. Working from my remixable template here, you can now see the different variations that came directly from our spreadsheet. Let's do it again because I want to show you step by step. First, we're going to click. Now we're going to do the back. We're going to click bulk create. Upload that same CSV file, which looks just like this. Very simple. 4 of your clients with fields that you want to customize. I will point out if you want to customize, let's say, just a word, make sure that it is a separate text layer. If this was hi there, and this was all one paragraph, it's not going to identify that word as a separate field. So sometimes what I'll do is like, I've got this field and I'll just go, I'll type there and then I'll drag this over top so that it's in exactly the same position. And then I'll go back to hi and just delete that little trick. Okay. That's how I know it's in exactly the right spot. I'm not scaring you from these spreadsheets, am I? Tell me I'm not. Okay. So we're going to click next. And now what are we going to do? We're going to begin matching the fields and then deleting the ones that I don't have to personalize. So there. And see, by naming those columns, it makes it really easy for me to quickly identify what I don't need. That's the name, and then that's the address. And then this is my own address. So I'm going to delete it. That's not going to change. The only thing that changes is their address. Okay. Good stuff. 3 variations on this side. Let's go ahead and click next. And what do we have? Those 4 variations from the spreadsheet. Check that out. Address stays the same. Customized to name. Little paragraph that describes the work. Name, address. Then I could just create that and get it printed out. So now what I might do is if I'm actually going to send this to print, change the order of these. So it's first and last page. And just like that, we created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 variations. In Adobe Express, you can create up to 100 in one project. And so maybe the variation, could be all different kinds of things. It could be a single word like you saw. It could be an image, actually. Maybe let's do one more where I show you how we change the image. So it may not pick up the image right away. Let's say we want to actually change the image on these variations. Select the image, then select connect element. Do you see how it picked that up right away? So now our image is a part of our variations. So it gets better. We can then manage the media when you've uploaded images. This is like a little more advanced, but still not hard. I've pre-prepared a few images. Okay, I'm going to drag those in. Since here I'm talking about website, let's put in that image. Here I'm talking about love. So I'm talking about branding in that one. Yep, so I'm going to do that. Portfolio refresh. I think this image makes sense. And then content strategy, let's do that one. So not only are we A/B testing text variations, but we can actually also do variations of images. How freaking cool is that? Let me just change this one so it's totally different. Let's do that one. Yeah. Okay. See, 4 different images just like that. And then I can go ahead and click create pages. So now we have even more variations. Okay. So what I want you thinking about, Voodoo Val is kind enough to put our starter file in the chat. Save this, use it. I made it for you. Bulk create is like this hidden gem, this treasure in a platform that you likely are already using and comfortable in, and that is Adobe Express. But don't just let it be a button that you never select. Let it be a feature that you actually use as part of your outreach strategy, right? In this example, we created a simple postcard that I could get printed in Zazzle and mailed. This could also be a digital asset, right? It could be an email graphic. Let's say you use a platform like Flowdesk or MailChimp or Kit. You can add an image or an image variation. Maybe it's not personalized per person, but if you wanted to personalize it and send it in an individual email, you can. I think about all the ways that I started conversations with clients in the past that has led to work. Here are a few ideas. Invited someone on your podcast. Invite someone on your podcast. Say, hey, client, I'd love to catch up. Let's like talk about your expertise. And the client at the end of the interview says, hey, by the way, Phil, I've been meaning to get in touch with you. Boom. What else? I've emailed clients when their footer is out of date on their website. Hey, your footer still says 2024. Let me know if you want me to hop in there and update that. As well, I saw on your homepage this, and this. Let me know if you need a hand with this or any other updates to your website. Okay. Perfect way to pave the opportunity to jump in there and pitch. But it's all from a place of like need and value. If we look back at our different outreach tactics, one, emotional reconnect, working with you on your brand identity, still one of my favorite memories. I just thought I would touch base. Value add, hey, I've got this new guide, this new resource I made. I thought that you would love this. Let me know if you want to chat about it. Hey, no agenda, just want to say hi and see what you've been up to. I mean, people love that. Another way you can send those messages, if you don't want to send an email, you could send a LinkedIn voice note. People love that. No one ever uses voice notes on LinkedIn. Highly underutilized. And then hop into Express where you can create variations, like super customized variations for your clients. In this case, I showed you how that single word website brand portfolio content in our template here, that is, let me move this field. That is a layer, that's its own field. Okay. So that now becomes something that can exist on its own and then have variations. When you do bulk create, it keeps the same font, the same styling. The one thing you want to be extra sure of is that you drag this box big enough. Let's say it was like your brand identity. That's going to come out over here. And if it's a small box, then it's going to go whoop tiny. So generally with bulk create, I try to keep the words that I use the same size. And if I have room to drag that as far as I can, I will. So don't be too stressed out by the idea of like creating a spreadsheet for this. It's really, really simple. It's actually just a CSV. And remember that you can not only bulk create the text layers, but also the images. It may not identify those images right away. So once again, let me just show you this because this is important. I didn't get the hang of this for a little while. There we go. Once it's connected once, it recognizes it. But if this doesn't appear, let's delete it for a sec. I can click the element or the image rather and say connect element. And now it picks up that image for variations. We can add assets from brands, libraries, photos, videos, design assets, and backgrounds. Or if we want, we can upload from device, which I had ready to go here, pre-cropped for this demo so that you could see. So this could be A/B testing subject lines. This could be A/B testing images. Who knew you could do this in Adobe Express? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't, but now you know. So friends, last mention, reach out and reconnect with those clients, with those collaborators, with those people in your world. Remember, the easiest sale is to someone who already knows, likes, and trusts you. And I'm hopeful. I know Val liked it. Megan liked it. Um, Use this template as a starting point. Take it, customize it, create your own versions of this text, and go to town with getting the word out there, spreading your name and your brand. Okay? Don't go anywhere because in 5 minutes, Lucas and I will be here together for our final episode this season of Social Media Makeover. This is my final challenge since May is now ending. I can't believe it, last week of May. If you have not checked out my previous challenges this month, they build on themselves. So definitely check those out and don't go anywhere. We'll be back here in a few minutes for our final episode of Social Media Makeover. Don't you dare move a muscle. See you soon.